If your player is spamming the A button to get through a random encounter in your RPG, you're doing something wrong. Hi, I'm Zach, and I always felt like the ultimate form of storytelling was video games. They have a level of decision making that is hard to replicate in books, movies, or plays. But the problem with role-playing games or RPGs, especially turn-based ones, comes when most of the game isn't spent being immersed in the story and world, but inside of a bad battle system. Now, there's nothing wrong with a good battle system, but a bad one will kill an RPG. Turn-based RPGs fall into two categories: rock, paper, scissors, and Magic the Gathering. Rock, paper, scissors RPGs are all about either finding a weak spot and hitting it over and over again until the monster dies, or knowing which move an enemy is weak against and using that move over and over again until the monster dies. The second one being the more rock, paper, scissors of the two. There isn't anything inherently wrong with these systems, but they usually get stale very fast, and there's only so much enemy variety you can throw in there to help with it. It doesn't really matter if your enemies are super unique to one another and each have a wildly different battle system, if the player is just going to use the same move to kill it no matter what. Now, that doesn't mean it's impossible to make a good game with a rock, paper, scissors style battle system. Earthbound spices it up with rolling damage taken. Undertale and Deltarune spice it up with a little bullet hex section. But you have to do something that keeps the player engaged. You can't just slap together a more traditional battle system and just hope people enjoy it. Complete opposite of this type of battle system would be the Magic the Gathering style system. That doesn't mean that the battle system is necessarily a card game, just that it has that level of depth and variety to it. Now, the rules of Magic the Gathering are so broad, and there are literally 10,000 plus cards made that no sane person will ever be able to figure out a strategy to counter every single one. And I have been playing for about 5 months now, and I still have such a small grasp of how crazy this game can really get. Any minute, my opponent can whip out a strategy and a card that I have never heard of before and get completely annihilated by it. No, it's not necessarily a bad thing. For example,
You see, I powered up Evra, so that can instant kill my opponent. But the moment I looked away, he spawned a whole bunch of zombie tokens. Now, Evra can only attack once per turn, and so the zombies are going to mess him up pretty bad. Now, the real strategy is, oh, and an exploding kitten card has also spawned, meaning that I die on my next turn. So I gotta wrap this up pretty fast, otherwise it's all over. So I tap my lands, which is going to take way too long to do. There we go, tapping the lands, tap them all. Put them all together for some reason. Just tap them. Now, I summon Angel. Angel makes it so Evra can attack as many times as you want, but the exploding kitten is still there. And if Evra attacks the exploding kitten, then it's over. I lose. We don't want that to happen. So I tap some more lands. I get those powers up, tap the lands, and I play the horse. Now the horse makes it so Evra can fly over all of the monsters and just kill my opponent. Now, admittedly, that's a little bit of an over exaggeration of how Magic's actually played, but you get the idea.
these are two wildly different types of RPG battle systems, and the question has to be asked, which one is the best to use for your RPG? And the answer is neither, because there's actually 3 kinds of RPGs, and the third one is Pokemon, the happy middle ground. Pokemon has a simple rock, paper, scissors style battle system at first glance, something easy to give players an early feeling of mastery over the game's combat. But that slowly evolves into a more complicated team compilations and moves to the point where it starts to approach Magic levels of crazy. The best example I can think of is Fear Rattata. A Fear Rattata can kill almost any Pokemon in 2 moves at level 1. The Focus Sash allows the Pokemon to survive your opponent's first attack no matter how strong. Since Rattata is so weak, it will likely go down to 1 health, and then you'll be able to use the move Endeavor to make your opponent's health match your own. Finally, you finish them off with a quick attack move, which always hits first. Pokemon has this great learning curve that really lets players get an idea of the mechanics and always seems to be showing them new ideas about the game. An RPG should strive for this level of balance between complex and simple, or at least fake it. Chrono Trigger is definitely a rock, paper, scissors RPG at its core, But with all the stupid combos that you can do, it makes your party feel like a Pokemon RPG. And there's nothing wrong with using either extreme, the rock, paper, scissors, or the magic. I mean, Undertale is a fantastic game, and it's the most basic of basic rock, paper, scissors RPG. It doesn't really matter which which of the 3 battle systems you choose to use, as long as there's something to keep the player engaged. Because if you spend most of your time inside of a bad battle system, no matter how good your story is, the game will always leave a bad taste in your player's mouth. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.